show Flag Extreme that's on Monday, and that's where our flag team is going to put on a pretty awesome just event of routines, and there's going to be solos and small groups. I hope you all can make it to that. Tonight, there's not just going to be performances, but we also will be doing a little bit of awards. We have scholarships to announce this evening because that's usually something we attach to our band awards night, and it just got pushed out a little later. So we've included it in tonight's program. We have a lot of great stuff for you. So this is our 7th period jazz band. If you are new to a jazz concert, you're going to hear a bunch of solos this evening, and once a soloist is done performing, it is very much okay to give a nice round of applause just to acknowledge their performance, and it's also to say, hey, that great job. Because as a soloist, it does take a lot to be that one individual. Oftentimes, these are improvised solos, so that means it's something that they're making up on the spot, that they've practiced, they have ideas in their head. So usually, you're not going to hear the same solo twice, which is, what makes jazz just a really free type of playing and being able to be expressive. So again, we welcome all of you, and we're going to go ahead and kick things off with 7th period, this first chart titled Conga. started with Alexis on piano, and that was Jeremiah on drums, Joaquin on trombone, Alex on trumpet, you had Israel on alto sax. Now we're going to shift things over to a shuffle. It's a type of swing, and this is titled Out of the Doghouse. So we're going to have a number of additional voices that you'll get to hear from in this chart. As we're going and switching out, if we can go ahead and, Luis, can you scoot back just a little bit, please? So there, for the 7th period, before we play our final tune, there are just some individuals that are sitting on the stage from the start of the year, because this is a group that gets going and meets, from the beginning of the year after school. And there's, some individuals who have really shown improvement and have just, had a lot of courage to jump in and solo, and also stepped up to help out this class period so that we could fill empty spaces that we were missing. And so I really want to make sure to acknowledge those individuals from this band. So we have our Jazz Initiative Award, and these are individuals who stepped up when we needed certain instruments filled, particularly trombones, trumpets. So here we go. We have on trombone, Joshua and Vincenzo, who go ahead and stand up and make your way down. Part of what's important with the jazz band is to make sure to have, every seat filled, because each part is very important to make sure it's heard. And they took on playing trombone so that we could have 2 different bands during 7th period. Also want to acknowledge on trumpet we have Isaac, who is a sax player that picked up trumpet, so go ahead and thank you for doing that so we can have a full trumpet section. And then we have in rhythm section, this is an individual that usually is the responsible one. So this is a little bit of a different initiative take, because they really, keep track of what's going on, making sure equipment gets not only set up, but also taken and put away at the end of our 7th period when we have to set up on this stage every day and then put it away. So I definitely want to acknowledge Delilah for her efforts in taking on that responsibility, keeping track of all the rhythm section. Man, she'll kick them if she has to. So there's 2 other individuals that we would not have been able to do a lot of this without other rhythm section folks, and one of those is Arthur on piano. Taking on piano is such a difficult task because it's rhythm, it's notes, and you are a rhythm section person. They have chords and so many things that if you're not a musician, it's a scary spot to sit and just figure it out. So, really appreciate Arthur for doing that. Also, in rhythm section, we have Gabe on bass, because we needed another bass player, and he stepped up to make sure that we could fill that spot. So we have 2 bands, so thank you so much. Then, as far as from when we started to where we are today, there are a few people up here that have really shown a lot of improvement. And so we're going to highlight 2 individuals for most improved. First one is going to be David on drums. And the second person is Kennedy on lead trumpet. The next 2 individuals that are going to be acknowledged, this is for our solo award in jazz. When it comes to soloing and doing improvisation, it really does take individuals to have that courage to step up and take on sometimes a solo that they may look at and say, I don't think I can do this, and they keep working at it. And so there are 2 people up here, and want to say really good job and thank you for what you did this year. This is Pedro and Joaquin. We also have a few senior members that are on this stage. And so for our seniors, I want to make sure that we go ahead and acknowledge those individuals. So in our saxophone section, we have Angie, Santiago. Angie, stand up, please. Santiago, stand up. We have Guadalupe. And then we also have in our trombone section, Araceli. And we have on Barry sax, because for a senior, and this being a 7th period class, that means their day, they're choosing to extend their day. So, you know, it does take a lot to make that decision, and I definitely appreciate all the seniors that are up here and that joined us for another jazz season. All right, so we're gonna close out our performance set. This is titled Coconut Champagne. You are going to hear solos from Jack on bari sax, Kennedy on trumpet, we have Joaquin on trombone, and then a little bit of rhythm section stuff going on. So here we go.
Hey, let's get it, Kenny! Come on!
great time working with all of them this year. As they exit the stage, Rodney, I'd probably go down a little bit further. Wrap around, yeah, because otherwise it's going to jam. Maybe David, if you can also meet them down here. So on their way down, what they're also receiving, so this is the jazz students tonight. The musicians that are not in the jazz program can definitely pick this up at a later time. These are the patches that I talked about last Thursday, our special event patches that we provide our performers as a commemorative piece for them to remember what we did in that year together. So they are receiving, I think it's 6 patches this year, because there's Parade of Champions, Fleet Week Band Challenge, we have the La Russell patch, we have Miles Minnick, we have the Super Bowl event, and I don't know. You'll have to look and check it out. But there's I believe there's 6 patches. All right, thank you so much, 7th period. Great job. We're gonna transition the stage a little bit so we can get our next band up here. So just give us a moment, and then we'll be with you shortly for the Band Booster Scholarship for this year. And the process of how this works is it is separate from the high school scholarships that many, the seniors submit applications for. We have a team of boosters, our board and parent volunteers that come together, read through all the applications, score every single application, and then through how all of that breaks down based on what they submit determines the strength of each person, and then that's where working with what we have to distribute is then divided between each of the individuals. This year we are awarding $9,500, and so I would like to call up these students. First, receiving a scholarship in the amount of $400. This is going to Yasleen Sarah. Our next scholarship recipient in the amount of $500 goes to Brianna Pisa. I know, it's the walk to the stage. They always And in the amount of $500, we have Nicole Mejia Bermudez. Our next award in the amount of $700 goes to Gianna Ortiz. And in the amount of $700, Ariel Weirdy. scholarship in the amount of $700 goes to Yemelith Fernandez. Okay, in the amount of $900, this is going to Josue Lopez. Okay, we have another $900 scholarship going to Marcelo Navarro. Okay, another $900 scholarship being awarded to Nakali Palomino. We have another $900 scholarship going to Daniela Lopez Mesa. The next scholarship in the amount of $1,200 is going to Santiago de la Rosa. And our final scholarship being presented this evening, this is in the amount of $1,200. This is the Oren Cross, the third scholarship, and this is presented to a student who is choosing to continue their journey in music. We do have one particular student that is going to San Jose State University and will be majoring in vocal education, I believe, yes, and I think you know who you are. Everyone, this is Yemelith Fernandez. I just told her I expect to see her back when she's done to teach choir here in the district. So a few years, we'll give her a few years. But congratulations to all of our seniors, especially our scholarship recipients for this year. We're going to continue on with our program, and now it's time for our Freshie Jazz Band. So let's go ahead and welcome them to the stage. This is always a little bittersweet because You know, freshmen, when they first enter, especially with jazz band, they're a lot more timid, and now they're just very loud, not just when they play, but as people. But you know, it's always a lot of fun to see them gain that confidence and working together and really developing, you know, into a stronger band throughout the year. I always, you know, it's our 9th grade jazz band, but I like to call them just the freshies. So everyone, we're gonna kick things off with this tune titled Rock Slide. going for an improv solo tonight. This one had Godson on drums. We had Yalix on alto sax, Nicholas on trumpet, Kevin on trombone, Jaden on alto sax. So there was a lot of energy that they're ready to bring to the stage. We're gonna go ahead and keep things moving, and next chart is a swing tune. It's a good thing I actually typed out all of this stuff for once to remember all the soloists. It started with Jairus on trumpet, and then Axel on alto sax, Kevin again on trombone, Joshua on tenor sax, Aaron on trombone, Nestor on tenor sax, Godson on trombone. So a whole lot of solos jam-packed into that one. We're gonna spice things up with a Latin tune. This is titled Caribbean Dance. And this is you're gonna hear from Farah on Barry sax, Vicente on trumpet, and Ignacio on trumpet. All right, before we play for all of you our last tune, there's a few individuals that will be acknowledging this evening. And so for our jazz initiative in this group, this is going to 2 individuals, and that's because they took on a position that we would not have had a band because 2 of those seats were in rhythm section. So the first person is Isabel on piano. Thank you for taking on the task of piano, and then Joaquin on bass. The next 2 musicians are for most improved in this ensemble, and the first one is going to Samantha on drums, and the second is going to Jairus on trumpet. And for our jazz soloist solo award for this ensemble, I can't tell you how exciting it is to have musicians that are eager to want to solo, and this is a group that definitely has quite a few of those. And so from the very beginning, you know, they were ones that jumped in and have continued to improve and take the feedback and apply it to their playing. And so those individuals are Aaron on trombone, Godson on trombone and drums, Joshua on tenor sax, Kevin on trombone, and Nestor on tenor sax. And so we are going to close out with our final Freshie Jazz performance. This is going to be Pick Up the Pieces, and we have 2 soloists in this. It's going to be Godson on trombone and Nestor on tenor sax. They're also going to be receiving their patches on the way down to the audience. All right. We have our final group for the evening and the school year. Hope you're ready. This is our jazz ensemble. They meet 0 period. And so this is a combination of upperclassmen who again are extending their school day to be together and you know have a performance here in jazz. So we're gonna open things up with a swing chart titled "I'm Okay, We're Okay." This has kind of been our anthem of the season, and it's very true in so many ways. So hope you enjoy this one. energy started from the very beginning. It opened with our rhythm section, and that was Victoria on piano. And then it transitioned into Alex on trumpet. We then had Joshua on tenor sax, Ishmael and Joaquin. They were trading off on their solo, and then Ishmael closed it out. Sorry, I'm gonna be fully honest, I am not feeling very well. I'm trying my best tonight to keep things moving along, so I'm a little mumbled and words are mushing together. So please pardon the little stumble and fumbles. We're moving on to our next piece that's going to feature Josue. It's titled Cherry Pink Apple Blossom. I always get tongue twisted on this. Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White. So, yeah, here we go. Before we close out, we're going to also acknowledge some of the individuals on the stage right now. And in this group, we had a few individuals that did demonstrate that jazz initiative and stepped up to help fill some of our spots that weren't complete to help us get started. And so I want to acknowledge Emiliano on bass trombone and Jeremiah on drums for our Jazz Initiative Award this year. And you know, there's also a lot that's just really helpful when we have individuals who put in that time and effort to become, you know, just more confident and be, you know, really hold their seat and their part. So our most improved performers in this group are Joshua on tenor sax and Diego on trombone. In our solo awards, there are 3 individuals that have really stepped up and filled that solo voice, which is really important in a jazz group. And so those 3 individuals are Ishmael on alto sax, Alex on trumpet, and Josue on trumpet. And then lastly, this is also a group that has a bunch of seniors. The last group was our freshie band, so you know that wasn't part of it. And in this, I did not realize how many seniors we have, and it's sad to say goodbye because most of them are 4th year jazz members, not just marching 4 years, but also jazz 4th year members. So. All of our seniors, please stand up. We have Josue in the back, who's our only trumpet senior. Diego on trombone. We have Sophia on tenor sax. Yaslin on alto. Victoria on piano. And we have Shaquille on bass. So the next number and our final piece for the evening is one that we introduced in the spring, the first time that it was performed. I think Ensemble did a good job, but we continue to work on it, and this group also recently performed for the LMC graduation at Concord Pavilion. And in part of, we needed to prepare a 45-minute music set, and so we kept working on MacArthur Park. And I really think that it deserves another audience to hear how far it's come, how much better it is, how much more confidence there is within the group, and I hope you enjoy. This is the send-off of our jazz season, everybody. This is MacArthur Park. It will feature Josue on trumpet. We have soloists, so solos will be from Yaslin on alto sax, Sophia on tenor sax, Alex on trumpet, Joshua on tenor sax, Joaquin on bari sax, and Gabriel on trombone. All right, everyone, here we go. Thank you. I hope you really enjoyed our evening together and all the music that was performed on this stage. And then you'll look forward to keeping track of what our schedule is next year so that you can join us for all of those jazz concert events as well. Appreciate your support, and one more big round of applause for all the performers tonight. David. I would go up here because they're not going back in the audience. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening and almost at the end of the school year.